Good evening. Well, it's time for me to get back to work. So it looks like. So what am I doing today? That's a good question. Well, I think I'm going to add a generic voting system. So let's design that. Alright, so we need a voting system. So let's think about this. You need an opponent. So what do we got? Looks like Adam wants to play a game. Let's see how it is. So I'm going to switch my audio over.
I'm doing today is building this UI level or the forest. So yeah, you want to do a match? All right. Settings. So you see here we've got.
just beating the shit out of Jeff. He's never gonna join. Alright, we're gonna end this match. It's gonna start with the spam. Stealth mode, big ball, triple jumps. I don't know about this. I think just a vanilla game. So who do we got? Just us three? Me and Jeff versus Adam? Seems a little unfair. That's okay though. Adam's so violent. Man, he's just punching people. Need to get back and actually doing a good job at this game. Yeah, that looked like it went in. Oh, that's gotta be in. man, those misses. See how it is. The assist too. I don't know. I don't know about that one. He's gonna be super angry about that one. Too little, too late. Alright, let's see. So... oh man, everybody's voting for everything. Stealth mode, sticky ball, triple jumps. A lot of random crap going on in this level. He doesn't seem very happy. Oh, I had the defense on it. There we go. Too little, too late, Jeff. Jeff scored on themselves. Nice job, Jeff. He just slammed it against the front of the stump. Yeah, that does work on this level a little bit with these larger balls. Oh man. Perfect. Too easy. Alright, well I think this will be the last one for me. Then I can get back to actually working. Jeez. Did it not switch to super sticky big ball, only pop up fastball? Alright, so there's no contact in this one. We're just jumping into the goal for no fucking reason. Just using it like a big fucking yo-yo. Nice. It's so mean. I'll switch to the losing team at the last second. It's a clever strategy. Alright. Well, I am going to get back to work then. So, I need to design this voting thing. So what we want to do is we want to have 2 rounds of voting. We want to vote, and then we want to actually vote. So we want like request vote, and then people cast their votes to start voting. So request vote, start vote to vote, cast vote to start vote. We actually start vote, or we want to so we're gonna want like a state replication maybe for this. Start vote, and then we want end vote. It's be something like this. And we want this to be kind of a generic system we can use. So what does the vote have? I guess we're going to have a name, a description, and we want any extra information. So that would be like, we are voting to kick this user, or something like that. So we're going to need some commands for this sort of thing, like a generic command system in the actual UI to do this. And what other screens do we want? So what other, yeah, I guess we'll need some state. So start voting data. We need our voting data. So we need to get some data structures together for this. Alright, so our enums are gonna be... So we need like a vote status. Okay, so we need like a user ID, then we need a vote, which is going to be a Boolean value, which will default to false. Alright, so what are we going to have for an actual vote? We're going to have prompter, and then we're going to have the cast of votes. This is events? Shit. It's the wrong file. Alright, so I guess we do support longs, so why don't we go ahead and do that? Okay, so our vote agenda will also be this. I guess we also need a vote status. Well, we have that in our generic cast vote, so that should be fine. I guess we might need a votes required. Trying to think of the right way to organize all this information. Because sometimes you want a majority, sometimes you just want like 1 or 2 people. Alright, so why don't I just do it this way? Like minority, half, half plus 1, and then supermajority. I think that kind of makes sense. So a vote agenda has victory condition. Alright, so we have our name, we have our vote. We also need our vote status here, don't we? Okay, so we have a voting agenda, we have casting votes, and we have generic votes. So we'll have all that. I guess there can only be one vote at a time. Alright, so let's see. Do we need a type of vote? Or can we have kind of a flexible system where we don't actually have to add like an enum and have everything well defined? We could just create some stuff. Well, why don't we leave it flexible? So you have a name, a description, user ID, vote. Alright. I think this might be enough. Well, we probably do want an enum for vote types. That way we can figure stuff out. So let's do a vote type. So what kind of votes are we going to have? Kick user and match. Add bots. Hello, Jeff. Good evening. Remove bots. Remove a bot. Add bots. Yeah, okay. How am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm just working on kind of a generic voting system for the UI and for this for the servers so people can vote on a few things. So remove bots, in match. It's probably enough vote types. So name, description, victory condition. And we might as well have our vote type in here. Yeah, like decreasing, increasing max players could be something else there. Balanced teams, maybe? I think that's enough commands. Alright, users. So let's keep building. Yeah. Yeah, this update's interesting because kind of our weekly calendar has us doing the Forest Night and the UI level. And none of that is stuff that I have to do. Kind of like the UI level stuff is already done. And Forest Night level, that's already done too, right? Adam has to do that. But there's no technical work that I have to do in order to support another level that just has all that stuff. So I actually don't have... Well, I made the schedule, right? And I made the schedule, and all of a sudden, I don't have a whole hell of a lot to do. I scheduled Adam to do everything. So... yeah, it's definitely true. Also, welcome Scott, to yet another boring stream of me swearing at things. Yeah. Well, we also are trying to go a little bit lighter than we were, because I think Adam was getting pretty stressed out with the workload and all the Bob's Burgers to do. And then we have the big looming Game Developers Conference thing coming up, which we'll be going to, and that's going to be a full week. And Adam has to travel from Australia to the States, and that's just going to be... it's stressful for anybody, but it's even more stressful, I think, when you're kind of an independent developer, sort of freelancer person where... like, think about it this way. If the game is broken, I'm going to have to fix it on vacation. Like, there's nobody else, you know, manning the fort. So if I'm in, like, the middle of downtown San Francisco, lost, or not having access to internet and something's broken, like, not only will I not know that it's broken, but I won't be able to fix it. So hopefully we've got things stable. And in order to make sure things are stable, we're going to release an update right before we leave. So that's a great plan on our part, I think. All right, so I've got all these things. So how do I want to make the voting system? Do I want to make this in C++, and do I want to attach this to the level actor? Or do I want to put this inside of like a blueprint thing? I think I want to make the vote logic inside of blueprints, but I want to have the voting system inside of C++. Also, all the ambient upset spam. Yeah, that's something I gotta fix too. I need to write that in there. New emote system needs to go on the schedule. I think I'm also going to create a UI mouse pointer, which you control with the controller, because we've kind of outgrown the usefulness of just being able to tab around with the controller. I think I'm going to need a real controller. Yeah, run the library, download the 50 gigabyte repo. No, at that point, like, we're not doing any hotfixes when we're on vacation there. So the maximum that I'm willing to do is going to be restarting servers and stuff like that. I don't see myself doing anything other than that sort of stuff. It's really funny. I actually have only ever taken one vacation from work. I mean, is that true? No, there were two. Like, did I ever take a vacation at Amazon? No, no, like, and by vacation I mean, like, you know, longer than like 1 day or something. No, it never happened. Yeah, I only took 2 vacations when I was at EA. I didn't take any at Molten, that's for sure. And Amazon, I may have taken like a couple days here and there, but I never actually went and did any vacation. Did I even go to GDC one of those years? I may have. Yeah, I don't know. I guess 3. 3 would probably be in. Is it going to be flood protection from the chat in Update 4? Probably what we're going to do for Update 4's emote spam is I don't think the emotes are going to look like they currently look, and I don't think we're going to use Twitch emotes for emotes. I think we're going to have to use Adam's emotes, and I think what'll happen is when you're in game here, and we got players, I think the emotes are going to be like on your player name. You know, like that's the only place to really put them, and I think there will only be one at a time. So you can't spam things all over the place. They'll just be like a little, you know, just like a little status thing that kind of maybe flashes or does something else like that. Because Adam, when talking about it, he's, you know, this seems like such a great idea, but this was a freaking horrible plan. And because of kind of art style decisions, right? Like, all right, so we have a vote to vote, and we also have a vote, actual vote. And these are your properties. So this will be on rep, vote to vote changed, and actual vote changed. Were emotes added in the game chat? Yes, emotes were added in the game chat. But I can't type emotes. But basically, it pops stuff up like that right now because I just threw it in there as like a complete piece of garbage. And it's it was funny for like 5 minutes, and then just Adam had a fit. He's just like, God, this is fucking awful, and then he rage quit. And I was like, he's like, it's too easy to spam. I was like, it's a game in early access, and our viewers are on Twitch. I think trolling is something they're interested in doing. Like that seems like something people on Twitch like to do. So I wasn't too worried about making a feature that wasn't going to be exploited by the more nefarious players of ours. Okay, so we've got our on change. We should have our multicast messaging. So we've got, it's reliable. This will be multicast start vote to vote. It should have the actual vote that's being cast. I'll also have the multicast end vote, multicast end vote to vote. And we will have the vote, and I think that contains the status of it, so that's fine. I really don't think, after what Adam was talking about with art style stuff, that we would want actual Twitch emotes. Like, It just seems like that's something that cannot be controlled. And as Adam is an artist and very invested in the visual of the game, I think it's something that sounds good in theory, but then you put it in practice, and then every time he sees it, he's just like, why did somebody like take a dump on my masterpiece? Like, I tried to draw a pretty picture, and then this person always puts their stamp on it. I'm just always pissed about it. Alright, we'll also have multicast start actual vote and multicast end actual vote. We'll also need a server Where's a good example of this? I think it's in the entity, maybe the player proxy? So we're going to have this server RPC request vote. So this will be reliable server with validation. We're going to send a request. And I guess we're going to attach a voting agenda. I think our voting agenda is going to have a list of strings on it. So we call it metadata. Okay, so we'll have request vote, we'll have RPC cast vote to vote, and that's going to be no, okay, yeah, I'm starting to remember something here. This level actor, for you to run something on the server, needs to actually have something else here. So what we want is a blueprint callable thing. Blueprint callable, request vote, and cast vote to vote. We're going to want I think we want the player proxy actor, the actual voter. Because the level actor is not owned by the by any of the clients. So these multicast things will work just fine, but we can't actually call the server from anything because none of them own it. So the only thing they own is the player controller. So the player controller has to call from the client to the server, and then it has to grab the level actor and then call functions on there for us to actually do network communication for this. So I was wondering why I didn't have server stuff in here, and that's why. Networking can be kind of tricky at times. It's like at Amazon, we had a whole team of engineers who argued that TCP drops packets. Like, and I'm this was a real conversation, you know, like that the TCP protocol drops packets because messages weren't getting to from the server to the client. And I was just like, if it's dropping packets, it's not TCP. That's, you know, go back to school. Yeah, and like it really came down to it, like me and the other server engineers sitting down with some of the gameplay engineers and just being like, all right, like, you know, you guys need to stop saying this because it's embarrassing. You're making everybody in the rest of Amazon Game Studios think we're a bunch of fuck ups because you guys keep bringing this up in meetings.